I hope the stream were picking up on that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
all right, guys, we're going to be getting into game number 1 here. The StarCraft 2 semifinals has just begun.
Spawning. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, spawning over here, ladies and gentlemen, in the 12 o'clock position on Metropolis, representing team Most Valuable Player here from Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, our Zerg boss making an incredible run through MLG last weekend and following it up with a similarly sized run here at the Gigabyte Esports LAN. Give it up for Monster. And his opponent spawning in the left-hand side in the 9 o'clock position, representing Team Empire here today. An absolutely beastly Zerg, the winner of Spring Arena 2. Can he follow that up with success here? It is ZvZ.
Looks like ZvZ might be a little bit of a fan favorite here. I definitely have him going to the finals right now.
I tell you what, this series is going to be so unbelievably close. Both of these guys have had such good runs through the tournament so far. Before the tournament started, I'm pretty sure most people had ZvZ down as winning the tournament, but then we had some awesome play from some really, really notable players. Inori not dropping a single map, for instance, in group play. People did not see him coming out of the woodwork. We just had Golden Light defeating another one of the favorites to win the tournament, MVP Dream, 2-1 in what must be one of the most epic ZVT series I have ever seen, and I do believe you were casting that, sir. And now we have yet another crazy series over here. Both of these players incredibly good, and of course in a ZvZ, as they say, anything can happen, as we do have a difference of opinion in opening strategies in game number 1.
Yeah, interesting to see ZvZ go for a pool first build here on Metropolis. It's such a large map that we can see that Monster feeling incredibly comfortable for going for the hatch first and then following up with a gas and pool.
Overlord's now going to be touching base in the middle of the map as they check each other out. The pool coming down a little bit later, as you mentioned there, Thundertoss for MVPMonster. And that is going to mean that his hatchery is significantly ahead of ZvZ's. Not too much of an issue this early on in the game, of course, because it's such a large map that you will be able to get enough units to defend by the time Lings decide to swarm over. We'll have to wait and see how he transitions into later on in the game. ZvZ now going to be taking his first gas, but Monster already has his. He, of course, got that mining before the pool popped up, and in fact, just as the spawning pool finishes, he will have enough gas to start researching that metabolic boost.
Yeah, so interesting choice there by ZvZ, going for the pool, but not going for as quick of a gas. But now we see him starting to mine that, and we see the queens coming up for him as well. Right now, on the opposite side, we do see that metabolic boost started for Monster, who does have that expansion down. Not transferring any drones just yet, but I'm sure he will shortly. And now just getting those queens out and wanting to be able to spawn that larva, start that creep spread perhaps. And right now, both players just kind of scouting out with their overlords. They obviously know the openings from each other. And we're going to see what they decide to go for into the mid-game. Are we going to see that Zergling Baneling aggression, or are we just going to see more of a macro game as both players might look to take their thirds here?
Anything is possible at this point in the game, Thundertoss. We do actually see that Monster briefly was a constant 2-worker supply ahead of ZvZ, thanks to him going for that slightly more macro-oriented build. But now ZvZ surging ahead to 26 as well. Obviously, he got the earlier pull, so he had the option of going with those Lings early in case any sort of cheese decided to pop out. But on such a large map, it was never going to be too much of an issue, as we do see a Baneling nest come down for ZvZ, so we could have a little bit of early aggression out of here from our blue Zerg.
Yep, right now on the other side, we do have Monster with one guy still in gas, so he can also throw down that Baneling nest. And he is producing 14 Zerglings at the moment, actually. The queen at the front does land that creep tumor, so he's not going to have that secondary larva inject for a little while, but a good amount of Lings coming up for him. But the Banelings are going to be the big issue here. Can ZvZ actually land them, or is he going to play defensively here? He does have that spine crawler at the front, and it looks like he's going to queue up that evolution chamber as well as some additional gas here at the front.
It's important to note that due to the Overlord spread from Monster, ZvZ will not be able to move Lings into the base of Monster without these Overlords seen, but it looks like Monster is going to be the first one to be aggressive here, coming in with an awful lot of Lings just as the Banelings are halfway done for Empire.viOLet, surrounding a queen on the high ground there. It will go down, and now the drones being pulled to the natural as well. ZvZ having to do a lot of early game defending, but look at that Baneling hit.
One Baneling able to save him there, saving a lot of those drones. The Lurglings at the front do try to hide over here in the corner. They are going to get spotted out here by Violet, who manages to defend reasonably well there. Looking at the work kill count, only 4 from Monster with that run by, but a couple of extra Lings in the natural are not going to get that Zerling kill. And now Violet has repelled it, looking to be perhaps on the aggressive, as we do not see, yes, we do see that Baneling that's down for Monster, but no Banelings out on the way.
Here is the big problem, though, right now for Empire.viOLet. All of his queens were picked off in that attack. Violet has exactly 0 queens out on the field right now, and Monster does have 3. He's going to be able to make use of those injects, but Violet going to be coming back with some counter-aggression. One of the queens is definitely going to go down. The second one looks like it might get surrounded. Baneling's getting a decent amount of hits. The second queen does survive, and a couple of Lings do survive to get a little bit of a scout off into the main base, but otherwise Violet not doing too much damage to Monster there. Workers killed still 4-0 in favor of Monster, and Violet, in terms of Lara, very much on the back foot right now.
Yep, he does have his upgrade started a little bit faster than Monster, but Monster right now transitioning into Roaches here. But right now we do have a little bit of continued aggression here from Monster, morphing some Banelings at the front of Violet's base. It is in vision of these Overlords, and the Queens are going to come out, try to repel that. Oh, the Baneling does get a nice hit on those Zerglings, 6 of them going down, but trying to push towards the front. The Spine Collar actually falls here. And a couple more Banelings trying to get in. They will be able to make it past this Queen if it does go down. The drones being spread out, but the Banelings now going into the main, looking to do a little bit more economic damage. But can they do it? The Queen taking out 1, and that is not going to be effective enough.
Nope, we do have a couple of Lings trying to pick up those injured drones, actually getting one of them there. So the Workers kill tab has now gone all the way up to 7 for Monster, slowly whittling away at Violet here, as opposed to performing any sort of killing blow. The Worker supply is 39 to 37 in Monster's favor. So Violet doing a good job of continuously droning up behind this. This is what you need to do as a Zerg player. You need to anticipate that when your opponent is being aggressive, they're using their larva to build up their army supply, but don't forget that those larvae can't be used for drones themselves. So Violet not actually behind by as much as the Workers kill tab might suggest, but Monster going to be moving out with a pretty scary Roach push here in just a moment as Violet comes in to deny the 3rd from Monster. That will force a cancel on the hatchery.
Yep, but that's a lot of Roaches pushing across the map from Monster, willingly sacrificing that 3rd base, maybe looking to do some game-finishing blows here, as Hip is at 90 supply compared to the 55 for Violet. Violet desperately trying to get some Lings out, trying to go for his lair, but right now Monster is on the warpath. 20 more Lings in production. The Lings in the main getting cleaned up relatively quickly here by Monster, as he is looking to barrel down on the natural here. A couple Spine Colors are finished, 3 more trying to finish in time, but right now that is a ton of Roaches here at the front. A couple more Banelings also morphing to deny these Lings. The drones are being pulled, but are the Banelings going to finish in time? The Roaches still doing an incredible amount of damage. The 3 Spine Colors might be able to hold this, but so many Lings reinforcements coming here from Monster. That's a 10 Banelings coming as well. Yeah. And just more and more stuff on the production tab as he is trying desperately to push through this. But now there are 4 Spine Colors finished, and a couple of them are going to go down. The Roaches, 3 of them still alive, but now that is a ton of Banelings headed towards the natural.
Oh my goodness, the Banelings are going to take out all but one of the Spine Colors, but the Roaches are managing to finish that up at the start of engagement. The army supply was 51 to 11 in favor of Monster, who is absolutely destroying the base of Violet here with this push. Violet having to defend with so many drones, but the Workers kill tab now up to 22. Monster continuing to stream Lings in. Good SimCity here with the Evo chambers, but Monster just doing an incredible job here. More Banelings going to be popping in, and if he's not careful, a lot of those Zerglings are going to go, but excellent Baneling hit for Empire.viOLet. He's going to hold for now, but the damage definitely has been done. Monster is up 43 to 24 Workers at the moment, and Violet does have a larger army supply, but only by less than 10. Monster will be able to match the army of Violet on the counterattack.
What a great defense there by Violet. He was down about 40 supply when Monster was moving out across the map right now, but now it's almost even as the Monster is at 59 supply compared to the 50 of Violet. But Violet being more aggressive here as the Lings are in the natural, taking down some drones here as well. The Queen should fall, and oh my goodness, Violet with some counter aggression now takes a supply lead, doing some massive economic damage.
The Spine Crawler is not rooting. He needs to root the Spine Crawler. He was droning up when the counterattack was coming in. Monster could have had enough units. It looks like the Lings are going to be popping out now, and he should just about stabilize. But those Lings from Violet did an incredible amount of damage that could have been avoided if Monster just made some more units while Violet was pushing out with the counter. I think Monster thought he was a little bit more safe than he actually is. He does have Glial Reconstitution and +1 missile attacks along the way, though. So those Roaches, when he finally does get around to remaking them, are going to be pretty strong indeed.
Couple more Banelings morphing here from Violet. Are they going to get spotted by Monster? He does see the tail end of him now entering towards the natural once again. And that's a lot of lings and a couple roaches here, but are they going to be able to deny any of the economic damage? 3 of the banelings make it into the main. They're heading towards that mineral line. The drones are running. Now only 2 banelings left, but that is enough to kill the drones.
Oh,
And one more baneling hit does get only 1 drone there. Nice splitting there by Monster. But looking at the income tab right now, it is 23 workers compared to the 30. So Violet having retaken the lead here with the supply advantage as well when being down so far in supply. But one thing to note is that Monster does have this 3rd hatchery finished over here at the top right base.
he will have those extra larvae to play with. Monster with a critical mistake earlier on in the game. He had so much damage done to Violet in that initial push, but just not making enough units to defend the counterattack, and Violet really making him pay for that. Now up on SCVs as well. Monster is not going to want to engage these lings in the middle of the map. Violet has more of them there, but Violet now going to be moving in towards a 3rd. No cancel is possible, of course. The hatch is completed. Violet now is trying to face a race against time here. Monster trying to save the hatch. It looks like he's going to be able to do so.
Oh,
some
the
banelings
banelings
trying to stop the lings from escaping and doing quite a good job so far. Violet has nowhere to run. He's going to have to engage, but Monster actually losing quite a few lings there. Is he going to squeeze himself out? Yes! Very nicely done by Violet.
They do get cleaned up before being able to scout into the main, but right now Violet's still on 2 bases, but up ahead about 20 supply as he's happily mining with those 45 harvesters compared to the 36 for Monster. And right now looking at the upgrades, 2+2 Carapace is finished for a Violet. And right now Monster is only at +1, so the upgrade advantage also in Violet's favor here as we see 10 more roaches coming out for him and roach speed about to be finished.
Monster did have that roach speed up a little bit earlier. He initially held the upgrade advantage, but through that constant aggression, after that counterattack from Violet, we saw that Violet got his own roach warren up, now is also even as far as Glial Reconstitution is concerned, and his upgrades are going to be superior as far as a roach-on-roach engagement goes as well. So Violet in a very, very nice position, turning this game around when he was in trouble in the early stages, playing very methodically, and we could be seeing a push coming out of him soon as Monster decides it's his turn now to move across the map.
Yeah, Monster very riskily actually pushing forward with a very small amount of roaches, and now we see him running into the massive advantage here for Violet. Violet going to be able to chase this down. We can see on the units tab here, 16 roaches out for Violet, only 11 out for Monster, as he's going to chase him all the way across the map here and hoping to do a little bit more damage right now. Violet did clear out that 3rd base for now. A couple more lings do deny that hatchery from going down, but here he goes pushing forward towards the natural. And what can Monster do?
Yeah, he does have the additional larva from the 3rd base, but he doesn't have enough money to make those into roaches, so Violet just going to be moving in with a heck of a lot more roaches than Monster. An excellent concave here from Violet, and here are the ling reinforcements. An excellent surface area and exemplary roach play coming out from Violet here. He's going to be able to push into the natural expansion, and Monster, as it currently stands, has no answer for this. GG! Violet takes game number 1.
Wow, what an impressive first game there. The +2 attack on those roaches making a huge difference. And wow, he just looked so far behind right in that very beginning.
Very
but the
much
tech
so.
managed to pay off for him.
It did. I mean, the counterattack for Violet was so cost-effective. Monster thought maybe he was a little bit safer than he actually was, building a couple of drones and then realizing, wait, hang on a second, I needed to get these lings out a few seconds earlier. Violet just used that opening, killed off an awful lot of drones in response to Monster's initial push, and then fell back and relied on his macro for the +2 timing off of 2 bases. He fell back specifically for a timing as opposed to just trying to macro up. We saw the 3rd hatchery go down for Monster, but not able to make use of those larvae simply because of the economic damage sustained earlier in the game. So Violet is going to go 1-0 up in this series, guys. We'll be back straight after a quick commercial break with game number 2. I'm JoRoSaR, with me is Thundertoss. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and just to let you guys know as well, apparently there are some audio sync issues on the stream. We have just been told we're going to be restarting the stream, but it'll be down for a maximum of about 20 seconds. If you see a black screen, just quickly hit that refresh, and we'll be back after this commercial break.